Welcome to AskAgnesHDB, your go-to channel for expert advice on everything HDB. Whether you're navigating your first flat purchase, selling your resale HDB flat, or just wanting to stay updated on the latest property trends, you're in the right place. Subscribe now and let's make your HDB journey smoother.
Could there be more aggressive property cooling measures? Hi everyone. Welcome back to another video about the ever-interesting property market in Singapore. Today we're diving into a hot topic. Could there be more aggressive property cooling measures coming our way? This question has been on my mind after reading an article from EdgeProp, which quoted Barclays' warning that Singapore might need tougher property curbs soon. Let's explore this idea together and break it down into smaller parts so that everyone can understand it easily. What's happening in the property market? All right, let's start with a quick overview of what's happening in the property market right now. Recently, there has been a lot of buzz about property prices and whether they are going up too fast. Some people say that prices are rising too quickly, while others feel the market is just fine. But here's the thing. Property prices don't just go up or down randomly. They are influenced by a lot of factors, like how much people earn, how much they can borrow from banks, and even how confident they feel about the future. According to Barclays, if the government doesn't step in by early next year, we might see a situation similar to 2017-2019. Back then, despite cooling measures, property prices still went up because demand was so strong. This raises an important question. Should the government act now, or should they wait and see what happens? Let's look at the numbers. To answer this question, we need to look at some data. Don't worry, I'll keep it simple and easy to follow. First, let's talk about the URA Property Price Index, PPI. This index helps us track how property prices are moving over time. For Q3 2024, the index showed a small dip of 1.1%. Does this mean prices are going down? Not exactly. When we look at the bigger picture, like the last 3 quarters, we see that prices have actually gone up by 2.3%. This shows that the market is still growing, even if there was a slight dip in one quarter. So, what does this mean for buyers and sellers? If you're thinking of buying, you might want to keep an eye on Q4 data, which will be out in January. If prices spike again, it could mean that cooling measures are on the way. And if you're selling, timing could be everything. What could trigger new measures? Now let's discuss the possible signs that could make the government introduce more cooling measures. The first and most obvious sign is a sudden rise in property prices. If prices jump too quickly, it could mean that demand is outpacing supply, which might not be sustainable in the long run. But here's the catch. A price increase isn't always a bad thing. If wages are going up and the economy is strong, higher property prices might make sense. It's when prices rise without strong economic support that we should start worrying. Another sign to watch out for is a surge in property transactions. If a lot of people are buying and selling properties within a short period, it could indicate speculative activity, which is something the government usually tries to control. What could the government do? Let's have some fun here and guess what the government might do if they decide to introduce new cooling measures. Lower loan-to-value, LTV ratios. This means banks would lend less money for property purchases, making it harder for people to borrow large amounts. Increase additional buyer's stamp duty, ABSD. This is a tax that buyers have to pay on top of the property price, especially for second or third homes. Raising this tax could discourage speculative buying. Introduce capital gains tax. This would tax the profits made from selling a property, which could deter people from flipping properties for quick profits. Create a resale portal for private properties. Imagine if private homeowners could list and sell their properties directly, just like HDB's resale portal. It could make the market more transparent and reduce the influence of agents. Of course, these are just guesses. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments. New sales versus resale transactions. Now let's take a closer look at the data for new sales and resale transactions. In 2024, about 7,300 new homes were sold. That's almost double the number of new homes sold in 2023. This surge in new sales is one of the reasons why people are talking about cooling measures. But resale properties are also doing well. prices for resale properties have gone up by 22% since 2021, compared to a 17% increase for new homes during the same period. This shows that resale properties are catching up and becoming a good option for buyers. The narrowing price gap between new and resale homes might indicate that resale properties offer better value for money. If you're a buyer, this could be something to consider. The role of seasonal trends. One thing we shouldn't forget is the role of seasonal trends. For example, developers often launch new projects towards the end of the year to take advantage of higher demand. This timing could explain the spike in new sales during Q4 2024. But does this mean the market is overheating? Not necessarily. It could just be a seasonal trend that happens every year. Still, it's something to keep in mind as we wait for the Q4 data to come out. Learning from the past. Let's take a moment to learn from history. In May 1996, the government introduced a capital gains tax to cool the red-hot property market. The result? The market crashed overnight and prices plummeted. This was a tough time for both buyers and sellers. Many investors lost money and some even had to sell their properties at a loss. The lesson here is clear. Cooling measures can have a big impact, so they need to be used carefully. What should you do? If you're a buyer, seller, or just someone interested in the property market, here are a few things you can do. Stay informed. Keep an eye on market trends and data, like the URA PPI and transaction volumes. Be patient. Don't rush into buying or selling without understanding the market. Timing is key. Consult experts. Talk to property agents or financial advisors to get a better idea of what's happening in the market. The big question: what's next? So, will the government introduce more cooling measures? It's hard to say for sure. If prices and transaction volumes continue to rise, new measures might be inevitable. But if the market stabilizes on its own, the government might choose to wait and see. Either way, it's an exciting time to be following the property market in Singapore. Final thoughts. Thank you for joining me in today's video. We've covered a lot of ground, from understanding market trends to speculating on possible cooling measures. I hope this discussion has been helpful and informative. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Your support means a lot to me and helps me create more content like this. See you in the next video, and until then, take care and stay safe.